I think it created a lot more anxiety. So I'm on Seeking, I'm on OkCupid, I'm on Facebook dating, and I'm talking and texting and communicating with, 15, 16, 17 women.
At one time.
At one time.
Oh my God.
And I'm getting an adrenaline hit. I'm getting this dopamine hit. I'm getting this excitement. It's a new drug that I've never even knew was out there. And I'm just like, woo,
Yeah.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, the #1 sugar dating podcast in Finland and the rest of the world, where we pull back the curtains on the good and the bad. And Kevin,
I think it's shocking.
the most shocking stories of sugar dating.
Yeah.
The astonishing.
Well, welcome, Lily.
Hello.
Just pipe right in there.
Jump right in.
As usual.
Kevin, where have you been?
I've been around the world.
You have been.
Yeah. I've been gone. I've been gone for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I came back. I've been back for a week, and then I leave next week. So
Yeah.
Business or pleasure?
All business.
All
Yeah.
business?
Yeah.
Boo.
As I was telling Marcus, the startup has started.
The startup has started.
All the things you'd hoped for, you're now getting. So you got to just run and catch it.
Okay.
Well, I've got a little startup that's about to kick in too, so we're going to see where that goes. We'll be mentioning that soon. We are recording in the plush studios of Pod Populi, and we have a guest today who also records here, and we want to thank Pod Populi for providing this location for us. And if you want to start your own podcast, they're a lot of fun. You can say whatever you want, right, Lily?
You can say anything you like.
So
You can even say profanity.
Yeah, if you want. You don't even have to bleep it out.
You just don't want to offend anyone
Right.
unless they deserve it.
So if you want to start your own podcast, go to podpopuli.com, see if there's one in the city near you, and if there's not, email our good friend Brian Howie and tell him to open one up as soon as possible there. All right, any other business? Oh, Kevin, you excited about our party coming up?
I am super excited about the party.
Get your entries in now. We are running out of time. It's already September, and the party's in November.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
It's going to come quickly. Now, we've expanded the party packages to 10. So you want to fill out that survey, go through it, send that in ASAP. We're actually going to start choosing winners this month. Going to let them know so they can make arrangements to get out of here. But we've expanded from 8 to 10. Now, that is a private suite to see Ricky Martin, Pitbull, and Enrique Iglesias. Also includes a pre-party at my house before the concert, transportation to and from, and 3 days and 2 nights of lodging. All free, charge. It's a good deal, huh, Kevin?
8 to 10, that's looks, or is that count?
It's count.
Listen, I want an announcement. I want to fly one of your winners out.
You do? You're going to
Yeah.
sponsor one of our winners?
Domestic, continental U.S.
All right, there you go.
Brussels.
So one of you will be selected.
What if we pick someone from Yugoslavia?
No, well, they have to reside in the United States. Continental.
Yeah,
No, you Hawaiians.
So one of you that reside in the United States will actually have your airfare paid for.
Yeah.
So
And
we'll let you know.
You
There
need to
we
know
go.
how to thank a guy for a gift. That's
There
really
you
it.
go. There you go. All right, so go to our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com, to enter there. All right, let's get to our guest. He doesn't have a lot of time, and we have a lot of questions. So I want to introduce Todd, and he actually records here in the studio. He has a podcast called The Laundry List. His assistant actually reached out to us, said you've done a little sugar dating. Welcome,
Little
Todd.
sugar dating. Before we get into my story, I have a question. Why do you guys think you're #1 in Finland?
Because the charts just came out, and we were #1 in Finland in the sexuality division.
Yeah. So why do you think you are?
Oh, why?
Yeah.
The
Same.
word Finnish?
I
I don't know, just saying.
don't know. What do you think?
Why do I think?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've not been to Finland.
We have actually hit #1 in Poland.
Poland, I get.
Tanzania. Yeah.
I've been to Poland. I get it.
Yeah.
I have some friends that are very famous rock stars, and they tell me a lot about Poland.
Really?
So Poland, I get. Finland, I thought was a more conservative,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Well, what about St. Kitts?
Yeah, St. Kitts and
St.
Nevis. We have
Kitts.
been number one there for like a year, just
Yeah.
solid.
You can't discount St. Kitts.
Right there in the Caribbean. We're gonna have to go to St. Kitts and
Yeah.
Nevis soon.
Take that, Joe Rogan.
I know, right?
I do love St. Kitts. That's a gorgeous place.
You know where that is?
I've been there.
Yeah. How is it? Great.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
All right, Lily, set us up. We need to
Okay.
go do a podcast from St. Kitts since they are super fans there. Apparently, we probably have like one fan that just downloads everything every week. I don't know.
What do you think the primary language is in St. Kitts?
I don't know.
Well, I
Todd?
think it's British and French.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, St. Kitts. Well, there's only 7 people that live there, so half of them listen to your podcast.
Half of them speak English and could be guests on our show.
All right, Todd. So tell us a little bit about your podcast. I was listening to the dating one you just released a couple weeks ago.
The one with Brian, or the one, more recent.
Yeah, it was very recent.
We did one with Brian Howie, a dating one that was excellent this summer, early summer.
Mm-hmm. You had a lot of good things on there that we talk about actually constantly on our podcast. And sugar dating is just dating with a twist, basically. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're familiar with it. Tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of your journey
Well,
here.
I got a podcast here, like you said, Marcus. It's The Laundry List, and it's a podcast about relationships. And anything goes in relationships. It's not just romantic relationships. It's relationships with your parents, with your siblings, with your employer, coworkers, friends, neighbors. How do you interact, and how do you have relationships, and how to have better relationships in your life? And a lot of it comes from how you were raised, what kind of relationship you have with your parents. So we do a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of childhood development work. We use programs like ACA and EMDR and other things to kind of help a lot of our listeners.
And what are those for our listeners?
Well, adult children of alcoholics and dysfunctional homes, ACOA, is one of the tools we use, and it's a big red book, probably 680 pages. We call it our Bible to how to deal with relationships, and when you get triggered, where's that coming from? Why are you getting triggered? And it's usually has nothing to do with the other person. Usually has something to do in your past that is creating that fear and anxiety and panic. Everyone thinks it's that situation, but it's not. It's your response to that situation, and it's usually a program that's been replayed when typically you were younger.
Okay.
So,
Very good.
yeah.
So you've been doing your podcast for about a year, I think?
I just got the invoice for the next year, so I guess we just had our year a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. When I looked to see when it started, it was almost exactly to this day, a year ago.
Yeah.
Well, when you released your first one.
Yeah, we just paid for the second year. So
Yeah.
I would have guessed that we're about a year and 2 weeks old, is my
Right.
guess. A
Yeah.
year and 3 weeks.
So what prompted you to reach out to us?
I've had some experience with sugar dating, and I have a lot of friends that have experienced with sugar dating.
Good, bad?
Good, bad, and the ugly, everything. A little bit of everything. So I just think it's an interesting topic. I think it's something that a lot of people don't know a lot about. I think there's a lot of assumptions out there. And I just love talking about relationships and romantic relationships, sexual relationships, and how to create more sort of peace, harmony, joy, and happiness in your life.
What's your status now?
I'm married.
You're married.
Married, trying to have kids. My wife's 35.
You're in your
and
50s.
41, but thank you. 41.
I could've-
just had my 41st birthday last week.
Oh, I could have
Open
swore.
mouth, insert foot.
Maybe it was his
No,
guess. that was
I'm,
his
I'm
50.
55. I'm 56 next.
Oh, okay.
next
I
month.
was not wrong.
I gotcha. Double got.
I just why you so red? And all of a sudden,
funny.
Because I was like, damn, how did I get that wrong? I just listened to his podcast. He said he was in his 50s.
The thing here, I don't know if there's any cross pollination because in seeking, I've not met any adult children of alcoholic parents, so I don't.
right. You could just have people read the laundry list, and when their head starts moving and they start crying, you're like, "Yep, I hit something here."
All right, so you're open to children at your age.
Absolutely.
I am too.
Yeah.
I'm 55.
Wow.
And we've actually talked about it with one of my sugar babies I'm dating. We're not exclusive yet, but the subject has sure come up, especially
you
with her
said-
parents.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said yet.
I mean, people are like, "Are you crazy having kids at 55?" I'm like, I got a lot of love to give. I mean, ask my dog. I got a 16-year-old French bulldog. That dog will tell you this. My dad's got a lot of love to give, and that's what it's about. Doesn't matter if I'm 20, 30, 50, 70. Michael Douglas. I mean, if you got a lot of love to give and you like family and you like being around family, I mean, just do it.
Okay, is this your first marriage?
Second marriage,
Okay.
and I'm best friends with my ex-wife.
Nice.
Best friends.
Children.
2 boys. And my wife and my ex-wife are literally best friends.
Wow.
That's
They talk every day.
pretty unique and cool.
Very unique.
That makes it a little better.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
24 and 22.
Okay, so they're out of the house.
Yeah.
Are they still sponging off dad?
No. Well, one son's a senior in college, but yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's a unique situation. I mean, both my wives are best friends. We're all big one happy family, and I don't even know a good analogy like the Brady Bunch, but it's like we all get along really well.
Yeah.
How did you manage that? Ex-wife and your current wife are friends.
I didn't manage that. I think because I didn't manage anything, it ended up happening.
Okay.
I married a woman. I've been married 1.5 years now to Alex, and she's just a doll, just the sweetest, most giving, caring person in the world. She's a nurse. And my ex-wife has done a tremendous amount of work in the last 5 or 6 years on herself. And she is just a delight and so compassionate and loving. So there's just, there's a lot of love and not a lot of ego in the room. And everyone just wants the best for everyone else.
Nice.
And when I first got married, she wanted the divorce, not me. I was extremely angry, extremely pissed. There's no way I'm going to be friends with her. No way I'm going to have a relationship with her. And I was plotting my revenge from day one.
How long was that marriage?
22 years.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
And you were plotting revenge.
Oh, yeah.
How'd you let go of that?
Yeah.
Time, therapy,
Psychedelics.
psychedelics, time, therapy, seeking arrangements, all the above. And I think slowly but surely, after maybe a year, 1.5 years, I started to enjoy her company. And then it just got a little bit better each time. And we're very close.
What's your astrological sign?
Libra.
Libra. I know not anything about Libra, but I was guessing Scorpio.
Yeah, if you would have said Scorpio,
Well,
she
I'm
would
on
have
the
been
cusp.
out.
Scorpios.
I'm on the cusp.
Okay.
October 22nd.
Yeah,
So I'm right there.
You do not want to piss off a Scorpio.
I'm right there. Yeah. October 22nd.
And they can be vengeful.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was married 16 years. You were married 22. When you came out of that and had to start dating again, tell us about that experience.
I was a psycho, serial, crazy dater because I didn't want to be alone. Literally, she's like, okay, let's get separated. I'm like, okay. So I didn't really date because I was hoping we would get back together. But then once it was clear that we were done, and I remember the phone call, I was actually sitting right next door at Schmooze.
Oh,
We had
yeah?
a phone call, and the decision was made. Okay, we're gonna get divorced. As soon as that call was made, I'm like hitting the phones, hitting Facebook, signing up for dating sites. Like by, I think that night I had 5 dates lined up. That was the day we decided to get divorced
All right, what year was this?
4 years ago.
Okay, so 2019.
Yeah. Before COVID. Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to get into my head what dating apps were out there.
Oh, there was Hinge and
Yeah.
Facebook dating and Plenty of Fish and
Right.
OkCupid. There was a ton of them.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. I was like crazy.
Where'd you start?
I can't be alone.
Just
Like,
all of them?
Like I was like losing weight, not sleeping. So I like, seeking arrangements. I mean, I was all over the place and I just couldn't, I was in a full-fledged, it was an outer body experience because I was married for 22 years. I was 100% certain I was going to die being married to this woman. 100% certain. And it was an outer body experience. I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling my body. I don't know what's going on. It's what we say in our podcast in ACA. I was so fearful of abandonment that I will do anything to hold on to this relationship to not feel those abandonment feelings. So I'm like, okay, I'm feeling these feelings. I don't fucking like it. And I got to change that quickly. How do I change it? Start getting some other women in my life immediately.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah,
You didn't let yourself go through the healing process.
I did not. I
which
did
is
not.
bad.
Isn't that part of the healing process, though?
No, it's not. I was in his shoes.
Yeah.
I went through a traumatic breakup in 2020, like the day Arizona shut down for COVID. And the first thing I could think of was get on the apps. Let's get somebody else, blah, blah, blah. In the meantime, I'm not sleeping. I'm losing weight uncontrollably.
Right.
I've got anxiety through the roof. But I came out of that so much stronger and as a better person because I did the healing eventually. And I did the study and I did the work to understand why I was feeling that way. Did you kind of go through that process?
I did after the fact. Clearly, I did. But I think I was in such a state of panic that I was just trying to fill the void and the hole quickly
Yeah.
with another woman. So I didn't feel the feelings then because I started dating, like serial dating, you know.
Very
Even some of the women I would date
Yeah.
with, like, would be like, I don't think you're ready.
They told me the same thing. They go, you're not over your ex. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm trying.
Yeah.
You're
This is why I'm out
rebounding.
here.
I'm rebound dating. Yeah. And some of them like, yeah, you're just not ready. And I'm like, okay, you know,
They know too when you're not ready.
they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, you said you're a life coach. How long have you been doing that?
I'm not a life coach professionally. I like to call myself a life coach. I've been sober 25 years in AA, and I do a lot of work in AA, and I've been sober in ACOA for 4.5 years, and I sponsor in that program as well. And, you know, I call it life coaching, fellow traveling with people that have similar things that I have. There's no money being exchanged. There's no, you know, it's just like we're all helping each other. And it's mostly from sharing our experience.
Well, we kind of feel like we do that too. We share our experiences, and hopefully it's helping someone who's trying to navigate this sugar bowl kind
Yeah.
of.
What do you mean by
situation.
sugar bowl?
Well,
You know,
'Cause-
that's what they call it now.
I've been going to the Sugar Bowl since I was like 15 years old, which
is
I
a,
love.
Which is a bakery ice cream parlor, right?
Yeah, across the street.
Yeah.
I've never been in there.
You haven't?
No.
Yeah, my friend went on a date with Stevie Nicks there when he was in high school.
No
Oh my
way.
Yeah.
God.
I'm going to her concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's playing.
She's going to be here with Billy Joel in December.
You're kidding. I didn't know that.
I'm
Yeah.
signing up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That'll be great. All right. So tell us about your experience on Seeking. That was one of the sites that you used.
Yep. Signed up for everything under the sun, including Seeking. And I think it created a lot more anxiety. So I'm on Seeking, I'm on OkCupid, I'm on Facebook dating, and I'm talking and texting and communicating with, 15, 16, 17 women
Yeah.
At one time.
at one time.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm getting an adrenaline hit. I'm getting this dopamine hit. I'm getting this excitement. It's a new drug that I've never even knew was out there. And I'm just like, woo, you know?
Yeah.
And I have no idea what these people look like, because even though they send you pictures and say, it's like, you know, it's not really you, or it was you 20, 15 years ago,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Like my picture. It took me like 3 weeks to put on my picture after I was airbrushing, and, you know, I'm like, this is me. And then, meanwhile, it's my bar mitzvah picture. You know, it's like, you know,
I love it.
And I actually went on a couple dates where I'm like looking for the person. They're looking right at me and waving, and I'm like looking around like, oh, you're my date. And like, same thing. She did what I did. Like, it was a picture from 15 years ago.
Oh, funny.
You know, so
They're perfect for each other.
yeah, we're both lying. You know,
Well, don't you think there's like a reminiscing here, right? So you'd say you're going to concerts to see people that performances you didn't get to see when you were younger, and now you're like, now I get to go to this concert, right? Seeking is the inverse. Those are hot girls I didn't get to bang in my 20s, and now in my 50s I do get to see them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same thing, just reminiscing.
Oh, okay. Kevin's mind. So he goes in different directions. But that's why we
I saw
bring
where
him
he was
on.
going with it. Yeah.
Yeah, go down memory lane.
Yeah.
All right. So you're meeting these people. You've got this rush.
Oh yeah.
And-
yeah. Lots of activity.
Yeah.
Lots of activity. Day to night, communicating with a bunch of women. A lot of anxiety. Not a great ender. So going on dates where I'm not attracted to the person, not into them, but just didn't know how to say, okay, good luck in life, and I'll see you later.
Right.
I just kind of kept it going, where I had no desire to keep it going. Like one lady who told me, like, you're not ready to date. You know, she's an artist in town, and I really thought she's a nice person and liked her, but I had no really interest in dating her. I went on like 8 dates with her, but I didn't want to go out on a date with her. Like
Yeah.
I just didn't feel any
Wait,
sexual connection. I didn't feel the energy.
She was initiating, though? Like, hey,
She
what do you-
was.
Yeah.
She was
That's what
initiating.
happens to me. I've done that before.
You didn't know how to reject them.
No, I'm a horrible ender. In business, cutthroat. In dating, I'm talking like Winnie the Pooh. Like, I am just like, don't want to hurt anybody.
I know,
you know?
right? I had the same situation where I met this really beautiful girl, but I just, every time I dropped her off, I thought, this is the last time I'm going to see her. Then come a Tuesday night, she'd text me, hey, you want to have a drink tonight? Sure, why not?
why not?
And we end up going out like 20 times.
Yeah.
What business are you in?
A lot of different businesses. I'm in like venture capital. I'm in private equity. I'm in investing in different companies. I'm agnostic to business. So whatever I think is an opportunity.
And how did you meet your wife?
I met my wife through her uncle. her uncle is one of my best friends, and she was on the beach. I have a house in Laguna Beach. She was on the beach in San Clemente with her uncle and her cousins. And I'm like getting ready to leave. It's 5 o'clock. I'm like getting ready to leave to go back to my house. And I look around. I'm like, holy shit, who's Jim talking to? And I walk over there. Literally an hour and a half later, it's like I'm like asking for her number. And
How did Uncle Jim feel?
he actually was encouraged, because even though he knew I was going through some debauchery and going through like the 17 girls, he knew what a great guy I was. So he was all for it. He was all for it. He was a big supporter of it.
Now, has she been married before or
No,
kids or anything?
never married, no kids, but she wants kids.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Does she know about your debaucherous past?
Oh, yeah, she knows
Okay,
everything.
isn't that the best when they know?
She knows everything.
Yeah,
There's
you're
no
like-
secrets.
Yeah.
She's in 12-step programs, and she's like an open book.
Now, was she ever on Seeking or any of those sites?
No. But she was on dating sites, but not Seeking.
Yeah.
She made, I think, more money than me that year, because COVID came that next year, and she was making ridiculous amounts of money as a COVID nurse. So,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
yeah. So she had no time for extracurricular activities and supplemental income.
And she has no problem with you being 20 years older, obviously.
You know what's funny is we're 20 years older, 51 weeks during the year. But there's 1 week where I'm 19 years old.
Oh, yeah.
What week?
So I tell people it's the week before my birthday.
Oh.
Her birthday's a week before mine.
Yeah.
The 15th, and
Oh.
I'm the 22nd. So there's eight
you-
days actually.
You're
where
two
I'm-
different signs.
Yeah. No, we're both Libras.
No.
Yeah. She's a Libra.
The cutoff is like the 20th or 21st.
23rd.
Oh, it's the 23rd?
Yeah.
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 Oh.
Well, I'm the cusp. So the
You're the
23rd
cusp.
is a different sign. 22nd's the cusp.
Oh,
of the
is it?
Libra,
Because
yeah.
I'm the 22nd in March, but the 21st is the cusp or the cutoff.
Yeah.
So I was just assuming. Okay, I guess it's different.
You're
in
surrounded
October.
by Aries,
Aries.
by
yeah.
the way.
Oh, nice.
All three of
Yeah,
us.
Aries.
Nice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I forgot about Kevin being Aries too.
Yep. You
Him
get
and-
judged, by the way, when you tell your birthday and then they go, oh, yeah, Aries. They love a look. It's never like, oh, that's so nice. They're always questioning things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that astrological stuff.
Well,
Todd, you
they're
get into
saying
that?
a little bit, not much, but I have been hearing a lot these last 2 days about this full moon and how people are crazy right
Well, and
now.
Saturn is like closest to the Earth that it is. You can actually see the rings around it with your naked eye.
yeah, there's been a lot going on because I definitely feel the energy, and everyone I'm talking to the last 2 days are like, yeah, this full moon, I'm like
Yeah, it's
freaking out.
huge.
I'm batshit crazy. And, have you felt any different at all?
No.
Well, they said the tide was like 9 feet higher in
Right.
some place than it was because of the moon was so close to the Earth. And
Yeah. I mean, last night I was like, whoa.
yeah, it's huge.
Do you ever see that movie, Bruce Almighty?
Oh, I love that
yeah.
movie.
When he brings the moon in. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
We had a sugar daddy guest on here who was named Bruce Almighty.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't that his porn name?
Yeah, that was his porn name.
He made like one porno, and
Yeah.
that was his porn name.
Yeah, Bruce Almighty.
That's pretty funny.
You do one porn, you're immediately a star.
Yeah.
Porn star.
Yeah, you're a star. Yeah.
All right.
Good old
That's
Bruce.
too funny.
So back to Seeking, because that's and sugar dating, because that's basically what our podcast is about. Tell us about some just crazy dates where you just went, "What the fuck did I get myself into?"
Yeah. So I just, again, started talking to a ton of people. My only communication was through the app or eventually texting directly. And I had no idea what to expect, but like I was so out of my mind at the time because I was still in a full-fledged panic from the divorce. I'm communicating with all these different women and I'm not sure what they look like because they're sending me pictures, and I'm meeting a ton of them. And like I said, I'm a horrible ender. So I'm talking to a bunch of them. Some of them are attracted to, some I'm not attracted to. Some are like just, I want nothing to do with after meeting them for one time, or even communicating with them for one time.
Mm-hmm.
But I did start dating somebody probably 2 months after I started using Seeking Arrangements. So I kind of like settled down and just focused on this one woman that I met from, not Facebook, OkCupid or one of the other ones.
Okay.
Plenty of Fish. That was it. Plenty of Fish.
All right.
So I kind of settled down and kind of stopped communicating with all of them. But I would have in my phone 50 women, and I would have their name and then SA next to it. You know?
That's important. Yeah.
It's a very common.
And, you know,
way.
I actually came across one the other day. I'm like, oh, it's blank, blank SA. I'm like, okay. You know.
They're from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
But I mean, I met a lot of interesting people and a lot of students, a lot of personal trainers, a lot of people in the restaurant industry. I mean, all kinds of different people, like a lot of really cool women and a lot of women that like will just eat you for brunch. You know, they'll just eat you for dinner. And I was so fragile that they could eat me for dinner and spit me out. You know?
Yeah, and they can smell it on you. They're like, we got this guy.
We got this guy.
Totally.
Yeah, this guy's, he's a whale, right? Yeah.
Right.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
Hey guys, do me a big favor and talk with our friend Maria Scaptura. Now, she is a PhD student doing research on sugar dating. The interviews are anonymous, they're unrecorded, but you can give her valuable information about the sugar bowl. She wants to talk to sugar daddies and sugar babies. Now, she did use some research money to pay for this ad, and we strongly encourage you to help her out with her PhD program and this research that she's doing. We have some QR codes on the website where you can go there, or just contact her directly at scaptura@uark.edu. And her name is spelled SCAPTURA@uark.edu. All right, now back to the show.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Have a comment or want to be on the show? Okay. Find us at secretsofasugardaddy.com. Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
Were you able to identify different groups of them? Like I have like lonely soul, you know, they don't relate to their friends, pure group. Then there's the party girl. And then there's like just flat broke.
Yeah, I would say those are good
I
categories.
like good conversations.
I mean, there was one that every ex was the devil and just incredibly hurtful and just mean. The victim. The victim.
Narcissistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that word goes around.
And then I had some were the party girls. I have to have the best shoes, purse, blah, blah, blah. Had to look, you know, amazing. I had some that loners. I don't have any friends.
Yeah, lonely soul,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
the lonely soul. I actually went out with one that was a lonely soul. She had these new diseases that were made up.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of these things. And she's like, got all these diseases and can't get out of bed for 2 days. I'm like, okay, you know. So a lot of different categories.
Yeah. Is there an age you won't go below?
Young.
Yeah.
Young and younger.
Yeah.
You know.
Wait, you were seeking out the young ones? Or?
I was seeking out. Yeah. I mean, I think my cutoff was maybe 40, 38, but I was definitely in the 20s for sure.
Well, I'd say the majority of the girls are on there between what, 22 and 30?
I mean,
The
some women would contact me that were like 40. I'm like, what, really? You're on here? You know, you're 42, 40. You know.
They're fun though.
Easy,
Oh
my
But you're not there yet.
How old do you think Lily is?
You're in your 30s.
Thank you,
You just
sir.
made her year. Lily is 53.
Are you really?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Lily is having unbelievable success on the site.
Yeah.
Just men throwing
Really?
their love and money at her. Like,
Wow.
I have girls contacting me, asking me to coach them.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's actually a business.
I
Probably
have made-
coaching.
yeah.
plenty of mistakes, but I can tell you what I learned from them.
Yeah. I mean, I think taking yourself out of those categories that we just talked about, the lonely woman, the party girl, the narcissist, the shark that's just going to take everything you got.
That's usually the stripper, I think. Yeah.
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 If you just become like an ordinary person without a lot of drama, I think that really goes a long way. Because a lot of the men on there, like me, newly divorced, haven't dated in 24 years, I just want someone to be nice to me and hang out with me and not take advantage of me and just chill the fuck out. You don't have to constantly trying to get money out of me and constantly just manipulate me.
Yep.
It's like, I want someone to listen and be there and hang out. And if we have sex, we have sex. And, you know, just not be so pressure.
Yeah. How do you feel about cuddling? Do you like cuddling?
I'm a big cuddler.
There's a good
Big
cuddler
cuddler.
right there.
I am the best of the best.
Yeah.
There are times where you're like, listen, I just want to cuddle.
You know, it's
I just
funny we're
wanna
bringing
hold
this
on.
up. My wife actually last night, because I asked her if I'm from affectionate and like public affection and cuddling last night. because we have another friend who's not really into it that much and he's married. I love it. Like, I'm just an affectionate, touchy-feely, sensitive guy.
Same.
And, you know, I love it. And we could cuddle and our feet could be touching and playing and cuddling all night. And I'm like that with my dog, my 16-year-old dog, Gigi. I could hold her and kiss her all night long. It's like the same thing. So, you know, I'm very touchy-feely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one of those sugar babies. It doesn't matter. She just has to have something touching me, her foot, her leg, something. But she always wants to just like back that ass up and just get in that cuddling position.
Now, are you monogamous or?
No, we're not exclusive.
You're not exclusive.
Yeah.
But this is the one you might have children with, or?
We've been dating for over a year.
Okay.
So things have come up. Yeah.
So
she's like my main one.
The subject has been broached.
Yeah. I met her parents the other day.
Wow.
That was interesting after a year.
If you're not exclusive, how does the jealousy thing work?
You know, that's been a subject of many podcasts because you fight it, but then as you become more comfortable with each other, you know, at the end of, if she goes out on a date or I go on a date, you know that at the end of the date, we're coming back together and telling each other about the dates. It's a really weird.
But what if you don't? I mean, you do that until you don't, right?
I know, right? I have never been in a relationship like this, so this is still new to me, even though we've been doing it for a year now. Because I've always been, you know, I've had girlfriends. Matter of fact, the hard breakup that I had was we were not exclusive, and then when we became exclusive, it put so much pressure on the relationship that it just exploded or imploded or whatever you want to say. But it was the end of the relationship after about 4 months of trying to be exclusive. Because it just put a lot of pressures on there. Of before, like I'd see her phone, some guy's texting her, I didn't give a fuck. But then all of a sudden, like when we were together, I'm like, why is this guy texting you? Do you not tell him you have a boyfriend? Well, you know, all of a sudden these things started coming in.
Here comes the attachment. Here comes the control.
And I'm like, that wasn't me 4 months ago.
And I think that's the key word. When you get that attached, that it's leaning toward love, then jealousy is...
Well, I wouldn't put those two together. I think attachment and love are the antithesis of each other. Like it's the opposite. The more I possess and attach and control someone, the less I truly love them. You know, for me, my ex-wife and I truly love each other today. And it's unconditional.
I love a lot of people then. Lack of
it's completely unconditional. But when I was married to her, it was conditional upon her staying with me and being monogamous, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm not sexual with her, and I could give a shit what she does sexually and intimately in her life.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
So let me ask you this. If your current wife said, you know what would make me the most happy wife is if we were not exclusive, if we were non-monogamous. Could you handle that? Because do you love her enough that you'd want her to be that happy?
Well, but I'm not going to do something I don't want to do. So I'm not going to people please her to make her happy. But I think today, if I decided that I didn't want to be a monogamous, I think I have the emotional wherewithal and stability to make that happen.
To navigate that.
To navigate that and not be jealous and possessive and create anxiety and fear. I think today I could do that, but there's been no other time in my life in the 56 years on this planet that I could have done that. No way. No chance. High school, college, after, I didn't have the emotional wherewithal to do that.
Yeah.
But today I think I could if that was a decision that we both made, you know.
Yeah.
Is it weird to be in a room with two women that you've both slept with, but each one has individually slept with you? Your ex-wife?
I think at first it might have been.
Like, that's weird.
At first it might have been, you know, it's like, yeah, he's got a really small penis, but, you know, it leans to the left, so it kind of feels good. You know, I don't know. It's like, I think at first, you know.
Oh, dear God, I'm dead right now.
I think at first it was weird, but not anymore at all. Yeah.
Do you think they ever talk about that?
I don't think so.
That's a little
I would be very surprised.
I don't think so. But it's funny, like, I don't know about you guys. I used to be very concerned what women said about me sexually. Like, you know, oh my God, he orgasms too early. He never orgasms, like whatever. You know, I was worried about being judged.
Yep.
Whether it was being judged my looks, my weight, my sexual performance. Like, I just didn't want to be judged in a negative light, for sure. Judge me in a positive light all you want.
I don't know. Fortunately, I haven't really worried. I don't give a fuck about
No, I
that
don't,
part,
but, you know, I did get put on the spot,
though.
right? Like, there are phone calls going around about my dick. And I was like, well, I'm not going to lie and say, I hope they say good things. But I'm very in touch with myself.
We were trying to torture you, but you weren't having it.
Today I don't care at all. But
Yeah.
I mean, for years, you give me positive affirmations and validation, I am like over the moon. But you bring me down, I'm like literally Linus just looking at the ground.
But ultimately, that's who you are, right? Like, if you are who you are, you're not going to change. And if they don't like that, move along, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
You've done a 180, though, of your former self.
No question.
Yeah, so what's the work model there?
I mean, for me, the work model is therapy. I do talk therapy once a week. I do the ACA movement quite a bit. I've done 25 years of AA. I've worked with a lot of other people. And it's really getting to know who I really am and being comfortable with that and not letting other people decide how I feel about myself.
Yep.
And for years, dating women was a big part of how I felt about myself. You know, like I remember in college, with the hottest girl in Kappa, like had a crush on me and asked me out. And I felt like Superman. 3 weeks later, she broke up with me and was sleeping with 2 other men. And I felt like the
Two
biggest,
Supermen.
I mean, I just felt, oh my God, I'm such a loser.
Yeah.
You know, what did I do? And I just was depressed. And so it's like I was a yo-yo. That's no way to live.
No, I
It's
agree.
just no way to live.
The problem back then, it was hard to get a girl like that. Now you're swiping,
Right.
Or in our case, we use our cheat code. We throw some fucking money at them, give them an incentive, and the most beautiful girls show up. And all of a sudden, I'm at an event with like a gorgeous girl on my arm. Maybe when one just dumped me, so it's easy to replace them.
Yeah, easier to rebound. But like you said, you got to feel your feelings and make sure it's like you're not filling that hole, right? It's not a Band-Aid to process an emotion that you need to process.
But that's also a curse, is where I was going to go with that, is because it's so easy for us just to throw away something that we had and start over. Whereas before, sometimes we try to work these things out or
No matter
deal with
what.
them.
Yeah.
Because, in our day, we actually had to talk to people.
Well,
And,
yeah. I
go
mean,
to meet them.
when I dated, because I got married in 96 and dated for time before that. So like there was no internet.
No.
You know, you ask a girl out, you get her phone number, right? And you call her. Not even a cell phone. You called her home.
I know, exactly.
My ex-wife, I'm leaving voicemails on her answering machine. Like, hey, are we still going to Vegas? Like, call me back.
With the little cassette.
Right.
You say,
records a message.
send me your pictures. And
Yeah.
they're like, I got to put them in the mail.
yeah.
Postage stamp.
Yeah. So would you recommend seeking for men, single men?
I think if they can handle it.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a lot of very sensitive, very fragile men that can't handle it.
Right.
Like me, when I did it, guy was just getting thrown around like a bingo ball in that thing. But I think men that can handle it, like I have friends that do it and have done it that absolutely can handle it. They don't get attached. They don't get possessive. They don't freak out. They're just like, hey, I'm just enjoying it. You know, I'm enjoying the company, enjoying the sex, enjoying it. And I think that works for a lot of men.
And it works for a lot of women because
And it works for a lot of women. You know,
that's
it's
why they like the
a
older
mutual
guy.
arrangement where they both are getting, it's beneficial for both of them. But I think there's a lot of men and women that become too possessive, too insecure, too needy, and they become a version of themselves that they don't like and the other person doesn't like. And they go down a rabbit hole and they start drinking more and they start isolating more and they start shopping more. And I call it the whack-a-mole of diseases, of addictions. And they all of a sudden, like 6 months later, they're in bad shape because they couldn't handle it in the first place.
Right.
So there are some of those people. And I was definitely one of those. I don't think I would be that person today, and then I have other really good friends that are like, don't take it so seriously. Either it's transactional or maybe you fall in love and you become exclusive, but just don't freak out. Just take it slowly. Take it one day at a time. Relax. And they're more secure in who they are, for sure.
Well, one thing that we're finding is that with this style of dating, it's easier for people to get to know each other without all the pressure. And people are falling in love. They are finding meaningful relationships because, as you know, on those other apps, sometimes I would show up and it's just a meet and greet and I'm already feeling relationship pressure off Bumble. They're looking at me and asking me questions, trying to envision me in their life as a future boyfriend, introducing me to their parents, where this style of dating, that's not the that's not the premise.
That's the first thing they're not going to do.
Yeah, they're not doing that. Matter of fact,
on the women's side, sometimes we do encounter that, even on Seeking.
well, yeah, you do, of course.
So I remember asking a lot of women on Seeking, because for men, it's different. You know, the men read all of their messages. The men know who's contacting them. But a lot of these women are like, yeah, I can't get to everybody contacting me. Are the numbers more dominated by male and less female, or why do women like have tons of messages in their inbox they can't read?
Well, it's a percentage of women. So just like on Tinder and Bumble, you've got the top 10% of the guys that all the women are swiping on, and the bottom 90%, they're not even returning the messages. In Seeking, it's a lot of the same way. You've got this section of women who are having unbelievable success on there, but then you've got 80% of them who they may be overweight, they just don't, they're not as attractive, and they're like, this sucks, I can't get anybody to even talk to me. Lily has no problem having her inbox full. She gets all kinds of messages from all kinds of men.
Men from every age category and every
even their
walk of life.
20s and 30s.
But I'm completely off of dating apps right now.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm exclusive.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she met a great guy off of a sugar dating site. It was actually off of a different one.
Yeah.
And he owns his own company. He's a lot more emotionally mature now because he has been through some relationships and a failed marriage. I think sometimes we just got to go through that to learn how to be emotionally mature.
I do think it's great training wheels for sure.
Right?
If you do the work.
Yeah.
Work. How long you been dating?
Since March, so 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you miss any of the excitement and adrenaline that you got from the the sugar apps and the?
I'll tell you what, we miss her
Oh.
stories.
Goodness.
Because there is an adrenaline and a dopamine effect that goes with it.
There is, but it's also exhausting.
I agree with that.
Initially, it was really fun, exciting, energizing. I looked forward to it. And then I just was really getting to a point where I was kind of burned out. And gosh, you have to just kiss so many frogs to find a prince.
Yeah.
And so I was real happy when I found my prince.
Yeah. I would agree with that. It is exhausting after a while. I'm like when I was like a serial crazy dater, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like exhausted.
Yes.
All throughout the day, you're like having to keep up and, I don't want to lay anybody down and I might miss one and, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
but then you see one of those pictures and you're like, yep, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, it is a lot of work, but there's a moment where you're like, okay.
Well,
wow.
it's that high. You're
Yeah,
getting
you
this
are
picture
going-
and you're
it's
like, oh my
dopamine, yeah.
God, she's
Yeah.
fucking, she's hot. She's
Yeah.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, 80% of the time they show up and they don't look like as hot as in their picture. But I've actually had instances where I'm like, oh my God, like your pictures don't even do you justice.
Right.
You're so much better looking in person.
Do
I've
you
had that
remember you
experience.
said that to me
Yeah, I think you were one of them.
when we first met?
Yeah, you
And
were
I was
one
like,
of them.
damn, I thought my pictures were pretty good.
No, you were the rare category where when you showed up, it just, you glowed. You had like this just gorgeous look to you.
I think a lot of it also has to do with your energy and your personality and your
yeah.
ability to communicate, because a lot of people are so awkward initially.
Oh, yeah.
How many men, how many women on Arizona Seeking, just call it? Is it skewed towards more women?
Yeah,
Or
there's
men?
a ton of more men. So on,
Tons more men?
tons more women.
Oh, tons more women.
Yeah. On the regular dating apps, it's anywhere from 4 to 8 to 1, 4, 5, 6 to 1, men versus women.
Oh, really? Men
Yeah.
dominate the.
Men dominate the regular apps, and,
Wow.
and the women just get overloaded. On Seeking, it's opposite. I've heard numbers of four women to each man.
Oh, wow.
4 to 1 ratio.
I would believe that.
Yeah.
And growing.
I mean, the nice thing is if I open up my apps, I'm still on the other ones, and I'll swipe every now and then. Literally, I have one message in 3 apps, like Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. I've got maybe 1 or 2 messages, and that's it. I can open up my Seeking app. I'll have 15, 20 messages in just a couple of days.
Wow.
So it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Not having to chase and actually getting people. And then when I actually respond, they respond back. Or even people that haven't messaged me, when I message them, they usually respond back.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, frankly, there's a financial component. There's
Well,
something in it
they're
for them.
only after you for your money.
Well, sure.
But, that's what they say.
That's the stigma.
If you're a really good looking girls with a good looking guy, they're like, she's with him for his looks. And the moment he's not that good looking, they're like, it's the money. It's always the other thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
give me a break.
Yeah.
It's the whole package.
Have you ever gone anywhere and people called your wife your daughter?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's hot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's 35, but most people think she's like 26, 27. She looks very young. Yeah. Very, very young.
Now, did you grow up in this area?
Yeah.
You grew up in Arizona?
Been here since I was in 4th grade.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah. Went to college in Tucson.
Okay.
Pretty much stayed here ever since. I love it here.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. I mean, I love getting out of town in the summer.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I absolutely love Arizona.
Yeah, we're about to hit our peak season here coming up in about a month, so it's going to be great.
Go Wildcats.
Oh yeah, you a big Wildcat fan?
I graduated from there also.
nice.
Well, you guys are about the same age.
That's
Were
true.
you in a sorority?
No.
I was in a fraternity. Yeah. I mean, those parties. Oh, wow. It's like everything the movies show. It's like just nuts. Yeah, it's a dream for an 18-year-old kid.
So now that you're in your mid-50s, is it anything like you ever dreamed it was going to be?
Being in my mid-50s, I don't know if I ever even thought about it. I always thought I was 18 and going to stay 18.
Yeah.
You know, I never really thought, what's it going to be like at 55?
Just meeting you in person, you still very energetic. You still have dreams. You still have hopes.
Yeah.
You still have.
I still enjoy
goals in
life and get excited about life on a daily basis. I don't think about getting older. And, you know, I think half the time I really do believe I'm like 30.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Right.
I mean, I'm going to play pickleball this afternoon with a bunch of young cats, and I still feel like I'm young,
Yeah.
you know, like really young.
So I've been doing something a little crazy. Alejandra introduced me to this gym called F45.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she she took me to the one next to ASU campus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
I haven't missed a session
Yeah.
since.
Yeah. I go to the Rumble right next to that one. I go
you
to
do?
Rumble right next door.
Nice.
The boxing, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Girls that walk by our door into that Rumble.
Yeah.
I cannot believe how many girls are into boxing.
Yeah.
Yes, it's 4-1.
Yeah.
4 women to every
I
guy.
see all these really gorgeous girls walking into this boxing fitness center. I might have to join that one too.
Yeah, yeah.
You've never been fitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's a good motivator, you know. I just love group workouts. Like I can't
me
work out
too.
by myself.
Yeah,
Like when
right.
I'm go with friends to work out in those environments, and especially when they're a lot younger,
Yeah.
they push you harder, and it's like you show up and
Well, and that was my point. Here I am. I'm jumping over hurdles. I'm lifting these weights. I'm still, in my mind, I still feel young, but my body is telling me I better slow it down or at least work into it a little
Totally,
bit.
totally.
Because I see these girls just running circles around me in these exercises. But
Yeah.
anyway,
yeah, it keeps us young for sure, no doubt.
it certainly does.
I'm gonna have to. I got a 2:00 doctor's appointment, but
All right. Well, again, tell the audience about your podcast.
So my
where they can
podcast
find you.
is again just a year old, and it's called The Laundry List. So if you go to thelaundrylistpodcast.com, that's our website, thelaundrylistpodcast.com, and you can get us anywhere you get podcasts: Spotify, Google, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcast, you'll find us, and it's The Laundry List.
Yeah, good. Because I was listening to a few episodes on the way here, just kind of skimming through them to get caught up. And I was reading through your subjects that you cover. A lot of great stuff. It's things that we deal with on a daily basis.
Totally. Yeah. Opening up about your
I like
feelings,
that.
you know, it's like, I don't know about you guys, but like a lot of the mottos where I was growing up, it was like, don't feel, don't talk, and certainly don't trust. Let's keep these little family secrets going here. And, you know, our podcast is the opposite. Like, let's feel, let's cry, let's laugh, like, let's feel like we were when we were 8. We weren't allowed to feel,
Right.
not allowed to trust. Like, be World War III going on in my house. And the next day, it's like we had to act like everything's fine. You know, it's
Yeah.
like everything's fine, you know. So, you know, we're trying to like just heal and repair, which helps us in our current relationships today.
Well, Todd, we appreciate you coming on. And if you
Thanks
ever
for having
want
us.
to have us as guest, Lily would love to be on your show.
Lily, we will take you up on that.
You should go on the show, Lily.
I
Listen
have,
to a couple
I
episodes
have
and
lots of repressed feelings.
we'll get them out. We got a lot of tissue paper on
Yeah.
this podcast. So
All right. Well, we're going to let Todd get out of here. And I've got questions for Kevin.
Oh boy.
thank you so much,
Yeah,
guys.
we'll talk soon.
Bye.
Good meeting you.
Thanks, you too.
You bet. All right, Kevin.
What up, guys?
Real quick, we don't have a lot of time. But
Yep.
Where are you and Vivian at?
I have a girlfriend.
I know. Her
Yep.
name's Vivian. She's been on the show.
Yep. We're
Just a few
serious.
times.
Yeah. I was listening to the show and I was thinking, okay, let me project as if I'm actually not Kev, right? And I'm thinking, I don't know this person, Kev.
Yeah.
And I listened through what Kev's life is. I was like, this guy has it fucking made in the shade. You know?
Right.
He's got a great life. He's doing everything he wants. He's got a girlfriend. He's traveling. And then I just mentioned in the text, you know, before I was like, I think I need a blowjob before I get on this show.
But she's not in town.
I know, because
So-
we have a deal.
Yeah.
Because before we were dating, you know, I'm an engineer, right? So I was working on a flow chart. I put a little box that said start.
Why am I terrified to hear this
And it
story?
said, Kev needs his dick sucked.
Yeah.
And then I put 2 lines, right? And then she wrote, "Is Vivian here? Yes, no."
Right.
But no. And then she went through this entire logical flow, which is, I can't get into all details.
Something about a watermelon.
A watermelon is what I call a friend. Like, the example is, every time I eat watermelon, I love watermelon. And I think, man, I am going to eat. Why don't we hang out more? Like, every time I have watermelon, we're going to do it. I'm going to have more watermelon in my life. And then when it's time to get a watermelon, I'm like, I can't fucking be bothered to get a watermelon. Like, it's too much work, right? So a watermelon is not someone involved in your life. So I brought a watermelon over.
Today.
Yeah, right before the show.
With Vivian's approval?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a great relationship.
Look at this guy, Kev. Look at,
yeah.
you got.
You do seem nice and relaxed.
You get
today.
3 a month if she's in town.
Yeah.
If I'm traveling,
Wait.
it's unlimited.
From her or from the watermelon?
No, from watermelons.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there's a little conditional thing there. How well do you know her? This, and this. And then if you play that right, you pick the right person, it falls into the spot where you're like, bing.
Wow.
Pretty good, right?
Dear God.
I had no idea we were going there.
It's a good life, guys.
Yeah. So you're leaving again.
Yeah, I leave Monday.
When you coming back? We need you on the show.
I'm just gone for a week. So
Okay.
I'll be back the following week.
All right.
But work is going nuts and we're traveling everywhere. It's crazy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of fun stuff coming down the pipe. Lily's been working on some good podcasts that are going to be released here soon. And then maybe we'll get to hear from Podcast Fanboy,
Yes.
hear how his Labor Day weekend went. Now, this one, of course, this episode comes out a few weeks after that, but he has a special weekend planned.
Oh, yep, he does.
with a
Sure does.
with a guest of the show,
Oh, really?
With Miss
Oh.
Katie.
Katie. Yeah,
what?
I'll show you a picture of
Okay,
Katie.
great.
she's been on the show a couple times,
Ah.
so they are going to meet.
This matchmaker, Cupid?
Oh,
They,
this is a sugar dating situation.
Yeah, who introduced them?
the
show,
podcast.
the podcast,
Okay. It's
Yeah.
Same here.
right?
Yeah.
Kind of, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we'll see how things
Look
transpire.
at you. You're coming up with creative solutions now to the show.
We've got a plot twist for
Hey.
sure.
Okay.
And then I know we got to go, but you talked to Kimmy for an hour.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
And our audience wants to know what's up with Kimmy.
I FaceTimed her 2 days ago because I wanted her to see my new haircut.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she was in Hawaii.
Good for her.
She initially went there with family, and then family left, and she was supposed to fly back to LA. And instead, she decided to visit a monastery and get some life coaching
Yep.
on fasting from the monks. And when I talked to her, she had already been fasting for 3 days
Okay.
and had just performed a coffee ground enema on herself.
Okay.
I'm like,
Please tell me she shaved her head.
no,
Oh, I was hoping.
she didn't shave her head.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, girl. And so she's just kind of doing some transformational stuff, and she's completely 100% not doing OnlyFans anymore.
Gotcha.
Goes from making 6 figures a month
Yeah.
to just abandoning it.
Well, I think LA is an accelerator. You know, you get to LA, and if you have something crazy in your life, it's like times 10 in LA. You're probably like, I got to get out of here.
She's been to a lot of like self-improvement seminars.
Yep.
She's on round 3 of something called, I think, MIIT.
Yeah, it's something like that.
And she's also very much wanting to go into commercial real estate. She's taking 4 real estate courses simultaneously.
Great.
So, yeah, she's focusing on her future and her career and getting herself into a good place emotionally, I think.
Is she coming to the concert?
Yes, she's supposed to be,
Yes.
but you know,
Yeah, I mean, with
you
her
never
day
know.
to day.
Day to day with all of you guys.
She's semi-exclusive with the
The billionaire.
one of the guys that she met here. And I said, is this a billionaire? And she said, well, you know, I really don't know, but he has an awful lot of money. So I think he could definitely be a billionaire.
Yeah,
But they're almost exclusive, but not really.
it's the one she met during Super Bowl.
He's,
Oh, yeah, he's a billionaire. I know him.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
48
Yeah.
and she's 22.
He's super legit.
Yeah, he's
Yeah?
legit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hang out with him.
Yeah.
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 But she's pretty happy with how that's going.
Cool.
And yeah.
Well, that has nothing to do with September where next time we see her. She'll be like, nah, I'm going nuts. You know?
Yeah. Well, and I asked her, I go, so are you coming back to Scottsdale? And she says, well, I'll come back to visit for sure because I still have my apartment there and nobody's in it right now. But because if this commercial real estate thing works out for me, I'm going to stay in LA.
Yep.
We'll have to Zoom her in a few times because we need to get updates from Kimmy.
Yeah, she looked good. She's working on her mental and physical health.
There you go. Hey, and when's Vivian coming back to town?
I'm not quite sure. She's up closing, buttoning up her old life for the second time, the real time.
Okay.
Like she's got stuff everywhere, different people's places, and
Well, I had her and Angie on the show a few weeks ago. I looked at those numbers. They have outperformed every episode that we've had in the last 6 months. Well, except Podcast Fanboy, episode 100. His, for some reason, that one went through the roof. But theirs is the second best performing episode. So there's something about Vivian people really like.
Here's what I have to know.
Believe me, everywhere you go, if you ever want to date a girl where every guy wants to fuck her and blatantly says it all the time, you got to get pretty comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
It is like fucking flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does attract them, right?
Okay, so you have permission to get sexual favors while she's in and out of town. Does she have permission to do the same thing?
I've extended the offer. She's not interested.
Really?
Yep.
That is amazing.
Yep.
That surprises me.
Those cult gals,
Get
There's
those
one thing
girls
I know.
out of a cult.
Yeah. Yeah, I decided I'm going to figure out how far a woman can run in one day and then find the cult town and then just build a house right outside. One day running from the cult. You find the best girls. These cult girls are the best.
Okay.
Well, we leave it up to Kevin.
My boyfriend.
Unbelievable analogies.
My boyfriend is ex-cult.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, see? They're everywhere.
He was raised in a crazy cult. In fact, his parents drug him all the way to Israel.
I define a cult, this cult, as speaking in tongues cult.
Mm-hmm.
This one too.
Okay. Cool.
And healing, like,
Yep.
bam, you're healed. You no longer have cancer,
Yep.
nor need braces.
You guys think Vivian and Angie are going to hook up?
Well, we've talked about it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Do you want it to happen? Because I heard.
I don't think you're that crazy about that happening.
As a guy, you don't like to push those things. You're like, if it happens.
No, like with you or without you or both.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't.
So you don't care either way?
I don't care. Yeah.
I was going to buy Angie a red wig.
Oh.
I was going to say.
Well, Angie's not chunky enough. Vivian's looking for a thick.
She wants a thick redhead.
Have you ever seen a corgi with a big chunky butt?
Dear fucking
She wants a
God.
corgi with a big chunky butt, redhead or blonde.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All right.
So
you know
there you
what? I think that's a great spot to end today. Oh, we always welcome Kevin on the show. You bring.
I'm so happy when I'm here.
You just bring
different.
joy.
Yeah. All right. Well, we would love to hear your sugar dating stories, and we're getting them. I am starting to get quite a few submitted through the website and through Instagram, so we appreciate those. I'm going to read a lot of those on the Extra Sugars, so keep sending those in. We love reading them, and follow us on Instagram so you can message us there, and then you can see all kinds of funny memes. Hey, I got to credit Lily for half of them. She'll send them to me, and then I throw them on our Instagram.
I'm in a meme group.
They're pretty funny.
Meme girls?
It's actually not. There are some meme girls on there, but they just put the raunchiest things, and
I know,
half
they're
of
funny
them
though.
apply to sugar dating.
They do. They really do. So I throw those on our Instagram page, so watch out for those. And then don't forget to enter to come party with us. As Kevin said earlier, one person will actually get their airfare paid for now. And if there's any other sugar daddies who want to contribute and pay for some other airfares, let me know. That would be fun.
Hey, this is to all the voluptuous redheads
Yeah.
Right.
in the United States.
Thank you. Yes.
Get those applications in,
There you go.
Yep.
and good old Kevin will fly you here.
What'd you sign up for, Kevin?
Well, let's see. Let's see where it goes. Huh?
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Lily, Kevin, thank you.
Guys, love you.
All right.
Love,
Until-
kisses,
Until next time.
hugs, rainbows.
Goodbye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.